Hello, I just wanted to make a video for some of you who are schooling your children at home. I was homeschooled myself, so I am exposed to lots of the conversations and talk, and as we're trying to figure out books for our children and starting to teach them, or for me starting, but for some of you have been doing this for a long time. I just wanted to show you some of the books from Usborne and how they fit in. Because my kids are quite young, I don't have a lot of the older children books, so there's a whole other world to be discovered, but we'll just start with these. So Usborne has Lift the Flap books, questions and answers series. There are many of them. I only have here just general questions and answers about time, but there's so much here to be discovered. So as you see, there are flaps for many different things here, and Usborne really bases a lot of their learning on exploration and finding answers to things. And I know that's often a homeschool principle and something that parents want to expose their kids to. So there's all the when, why, what, how, who, where, which, and yes or no questions. So that's kind of how the book is broken down. So there's tons of different things. There's some clocks, all the different kinds of clocks. How long ago did knights live? Can animals tell time? Do all countries celebrate New Year? And so on. So that is the time. Question answers general. Why do planes have wings? Why do camels have humps? Why is the sea wavy? Just lots of fun facts. And again, this one is based on the when, why, how, where, who, what, which throughout it. The next series we have are the See Insides. So, See Inside How Things Work. I have here See Inside Castles and See Inside Your Body. There are many, many more than that, probably 10 or 15. Tons and tons of information here with so many Lift the Flaps as well. But See Inside How Things Work, getting going. How does an engine work? How does a car get going? How does your vehicle refuel? Why does it need fuel? What did we do before cars? Just tons of things. How does a bike work? How does the chain work with the teeth and the rear gear wheel, and so much more. Making music. How do all these instruments make sound? The pipe organs and how the organist plays a note. So much to be discovered here. So this is See Inside How Things Work. There is See Inside Energy. See Inside Castles, as we said, See Inside the Body, See Inside Under the Ground, See Inside, there's tons of them. So, history of castles, of course, lots of different kinds of castles, how they keep safe, what the castle walls are for, all that goes on inside of the castle. Jousting and attacks and defense in the castles and castles today. And discovery. And then See Inside Your Body, which we also have a Look Inside Your Body, which is probably one of the best-selling books. But See Inside Your Body is great too, just tons of information. Oh, there's also See Inside Your Head, which is all about the brain and how it works. This is just one page on that. So that is See Inside Your Body. I pulled this one out. This is the only language book I have right now, but this is the Listen and Learn French Words. There are so many language books in the Usborne catalog, and I know as homeschoolers it's often a struggle to figure out how to introduce language or wondering about language, but the great thing about this is that the words are put in, the cards are put in, and they're spoken by a native French speaker, and I think it's available in multiple languages, so you can actually hear the words and not just have reading as we turn it on. And then you press the different parts, mouth,
la bouche,
and shoulders,
le cou,
head,
la tête,
and so on. You get the idea. We have a whole bunch of Write Your Own Stories books. So this is Write Your Own Adventure Story. But it's basically, there's a guide here with lots of different ideas. So using some of these words, ways to build tension, Does a ship arrive only to turn out to a gang of murderous pirates? Do the castaways escape or join the pirates? Does someone build a raft and paddle off to get help? So then there's kind of like all these ideas and different castaway words, and then ending ideas. How do you end your story? Building suspense. What is that like? Friend or foe? So there's tons of little teaching that happens up here, and then allowing the story to expand. Questions that can be asked as they go through writing the story. So there's a bunch of different, this is adventure stories, but there's a whole bunch of different kinds of stories. And then we have many encyclopedias. So I have been working on collecting, the first encyclopedia set. That's just these 3. There are a few more. But first encyclopedias of seas and oceans. Just tons of information. What are fish? Breathing, fish scales, underwater life, who eats who, web of life, hiding, camouflage, and coral reefs. So yeah, just obviously a ton of information in the encyclopedia specifically about seas and oceans. And then there's one here about animals. Sorry, there are prices on some of them. First encyclopedia of animals. Living together with just gorgeous, gorgeous images. Lots of photographs and then a few diagrams periodically throughout as well. So that's animals. And then we have First Encyclopedia of Science, which has some really fun science experiments in it as well, like this one, which now, and this one, now we are committing to do these experiments because my son has heard about them. You know how it goes. How much air do your lungs hold? So yeah, that's the Encyclopedia of Science. Now this is one of the combination books. So it's a children's encyclopedia. There's lots of different ones in here. Not all of them are in print right now. So it's kind of like a combination of our world, animals and plants, how your body works, how people live, how things work, space, science, and maps of the world. So same kind of idea as the first encyclopedias, but all the more in depth. Seashore life, butterflies, amphibians, reptiles, nests and chicks, and so on. And then we have Usborne First Atlas. So Usborne has a ton of atlases. This is just the one that I pulled out as a first atlas, which teaches about maps. What are maps? Lines on maps, what do they mean? The world's land from the greater countries of the world, and then goes into each country or continent in this case, and the specifics about the use of the land and cities and celebrations within North America. And then we switch to South America, and same thing. What is the climate like? Places for living, etc. So you get the idea. And then lastly, homeschooling books that I could not go without talking about are the beginner series, which I write here. There are over 65 of them. This is just 4. These books are $6.95 to $8.95, so they're not expensive, and they're each topic, but I just think they're so rich and full of information. My kids just read these and look at them again and again. So this is just Under the Sea, but it just has some information about sharks and some information about jellyfish, again with the photographs and also some diagrams in each one. They're just gorgeous and full of information. Octopuses. So that's Under the Sea. Then we have bears, pandas, and planes, but there's lots more. And then Beginner Plus is a little bit more expensive and the next level up for a bit older children. This is racing cars. So Grand Prix circuits, it has like maps and it has all the different kinds of race cars, what happens in the pits, sports cars. And there are also some pages in here that fold out and expand so that you can see a bigger track or a bigger picture, like so. Anyways, hopefully that will help you as you navigate the catalog and try to figure out books that are right for your family. If feel free to ask any questions if you have them.